Hey guys.
What's up?
How's it going? What's going on? Miles.
Hey, Miles. Trevor.
Trevor,
Nice to
coming
meet
in.
you. Yeah.
Pleasure. Yes. Trevor.
Thanks for having
Tom,
us.
nice to see you.
Tom. Miles. Thank you both for being here.
Where do you
Appreciate
want us,
it.
Miles?
You can sit wherever you feel is most comfortable.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka? No way.
Dude, so close. Are you a wrestling fan as well?
I mean, old school wrestling.
Okay.
He was my favorite. Jimmy Snuka, yeah.
It's Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, that's not Jimmy Snuka?
That's the Ultimate Warrior, man.
Wait a second.
Right. Yeah. They all kind of go together, right?
I thought
80s
Jimmy
wrestling.
Snuka had the stuff around his biceps right there.
He had the tassels as well. Wait, did Snuka have tassels? Did he have that?
Yeah, he did.
Zeke? Okay.
Macho Man Randy Savage, right?
I guess that was a standard thing back then.
That's right. No, you kind of have to back in the day. A lot of wrestlers, when the Ultimate Warrior was in the ring, they would do what is called in the industry ribbing, right? Which is like jokes on each other. So in a match, one of the other wrestlers would like take one of his tassels off, and he would get super pissed. Like little things. Wrestlers are weird, man, but I
It does
love
make
them.
you more vascular to like cut off the circulation right here.
Right? Yeah. Makes you look tougher and buffer. And,
Sorry, man. I thought that was Jimmy Snuka. My bad.
No, hey man, it's all good.
Because
There's
he was also on the top ropes right here, so I figured, that's a
This is Harambe, right?
That's Harambe, of course. all mad respect to Harambe. We try to pay our respects.
daily.
Once a week at least.
I still think about it all day.
Do you really?
I do.
How did it affect you when this all happened?
It really was a delayed
Right.
response.
Sure.
And it just,
Talk right in the microphone.
hey, I still think about Harambe, and it's really just a delayed process of coping with the anger and
Sure.
frustration.
And I just felt like, and forgive me for the aggressiveness of my request, but I just feel like when talking about Harambe, respect must be paid, and
And that's what
talking
we're
right
doing
into a
now.
microphone is worth his time.
Sure, that's what we're doing
It
now.
didn't really set in for me for about 9 months to a year.
Sure.
And then when it did, I just started weeping uncontrollably for about 45 minutes, and then I never thought about it again.
What about now, while we're talking about Harambe?
Who's Harambe?
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
come on, man. That's just not.
Dude.
Give me a second to process this.
Did that happen? Is that here where that happened? Where did that happen?
Can I be honest with
I
you?
thought it was St. Louis.
People are going to be super mad watching this. I don't really even know.
I'm pretty sure it was St. Louis.
I only know about Harambe because our morning show talks about it all the time. Ben, Dana, and Giselle, obsessed with Harambe, which is why we have a Harambe here in the studio right now. So, good time.
R.I.P.
Moon Taxi here at Go 96.3. Welcome.
How's it going?
It's going excellent. How are you? You got a new record. You have a new song that we're playing quite a bit here.
We appreciate that.
Man, it's such a good song. Too High is a record that I don't know. I think we need it right now. Don't you think?
That's kind of how we feel.
Yeah, it's resonating with people. By the way, thanks for having us. First time here at Go 96.3.
My pleasure.
Yeah, this is awesome, Miles.
I love having quality bands who are good at what they do come in, talk about music. Too High, a song about hope, really, and just not to bring the room down or anything, but the world's been a crazier place than it even has been in the past, and songs like this kind of help one through that. So
That's where it was born out of, really, is the tumultuous spot where we find ourselves right now, and yeah, we just wanted to write a song about coming together.
anything in particular that inspired it?
It was written around the time of the women's marches, so
Oh, okay.
early last year, like what, February? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe late January.
Yeah.
Yeah. Song about hope. The world's spinning around. Is that in the lyrics in the song? So
Sure.
yeah.
No, the Women's March was it was super inspiring. Just watching that on TV and
Yeah, we were on tour actually in where's Notre Dame? Is that South Bend,
South Bend,
Indiana?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we found ourselves on tour there, and we had a show, and I went down and marched with them there. My wife was in the Nashville March.
Oh,
So,
excellent.
yeah, we all kind of did our part, and just expressing our dissatisfaction,
Right.
really.
Right.
But at the same time, seeing people around you and just knowing that, that the world's not just spinning out of control.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this question. Being in the Twin Cities and a major, metropolitan area. I'm from San Francisco, which is about as liberal as it gets. So as a band who tours, and you said you were in Indiana when this was all going down, what's the response been from audiences around the country as you perform this song and sort of have the beliefs you have? Because I imagine, certain areas of the country can be a little more divided than others. Have you noticed any particular response, negative or positive?
There's nobody that just like walks out. I think a lot of our audience, especially on this recent tour, we've been getting a lot more radio play with this particular song. So a lot of our new audience knows this song more than the other songs, the other material. So when we get to that song, they're going nuts. They're super excited. They're putting their two fingers up in the air.
Right.
And they're just happy to be there. No one's like protested and said, I don't believe in unity, so I'm going to walk out of the room. I feel like there's an argument with the song that just can't be argued with. It's like, we all want to come together. You've got friends around you. It's a positive thing.
Yeah.
So why would you ever, hate on that?
That's cool. That's good. That's good to hear. You mentioned Nashville, which is where the band is from.
Sure. Yeah.
Been a band for over a decade now, right?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Actually, Tommy and I went to high school together, so we've been playing music together for 18 years now. We started in high school in our parents' basement. Moved to Nashville to pursue music and met the rest of the guys in the band over the next 4 or 5 years. Finished school first and then started touring, and we haven't stopped since.
I've always been super impressed by artists who make it out of Nashville because it's sort of like going to LA to be an actor or something, right? It's such a hotbed for musicians and
It's a
music.
tough spot, yeah. And I mean, it really influenced us professionally more than musically. I mean, as you can hear in Too High, there's not too much twang going on in there, but like professionally, you have to stand up and really deliver every single time, or else you're just not going to make it in Nashville. So
that was kind of our MO. It's like, if you can do well in Nashville, you can play anywhere. If you're going up against the best guitar players every night and people are coming to your shows and you're selling out some shows locally, then, you can do that probably in Minneapolis, I would hope. And then, Chicago and elsewhere.
Yeah. You mentioned twang, and I think there was a time where I would think of the Nashville music scene as being a little more on the countryside or twangy side. It seems that as time has gone on, it's evolved, right?
It has.
Can you speak to that a little bit? Like, what's it like out there these days?
I think Kings of Leon did a whole lot for that. They really broke the rock scene there in a big way. And then I think maybe, I don't want to say that they inspired other people, but, Jack White moved there.
Right.
And
Black
he kind
Keys.
of, Black Keys.
Yep.
So like all these different rock bands kind of started cementing a different, music scene in Nashville. It was there to start with, but really just making it more exposed nationally. And then because of that, you start seeing tons of other bands start moving there. I think generally just to do kind of what we intended to do in the first place. We wanted to move to Nashville. We knew that we're from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
There's not a whole bunch of music industry there.
Football.
Football's great.
Football.
Man. But yeah,
you just opened a whole
yeah.
Let's get into
for
it.
him.
Well, yeah, Roll Tide. Just don't get me
Okay,
started.
right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay on topic. Nashville
yeah.
rock bands.
Yeah. Roll Tide, we're going to win the national championship probably. But yeah,
definitely.
I feel like a whole bunch of other bands have moved to Nashville to expose themselves to the music industry there, just because it started off. My thought was that, okay, there's a country music industry here that's, brimming, but there must be some people that do rock stuff. And there are, and there's more of them now.
As you mentioned, Jack White, Black Keys, Judah and the Lion is another band, friends of ours. Comparing it to the Minneapolis scene or the Twin Cities, Minnesota scene, whatever you want to call it, a lot of these artists they're friends. They play shows together quite a bit. There's a big community here. Is there something similar in Nashville? Like, are you friends with Kings of Leon? Do you hang out with Judah and the Lion?
Judah and the Lion, we know a little bit. We know their manager more than anybody because their manager is the nephew of our manager, Ben, who's hilarious.
Sure.
They actually let him sing a song at the Ryman.
What did he sing?
It was some kind of opera stuff, and he brought the house down.
Oh yeah, because he's like a church leader, right?
Yeah,
and he sings in church.
He brought.
a beautiful
he's
voice.
he's a great big guy, and he brought the house down. It was awesome.
That's
great.
excellent.
Let's see who else. I'm good friends with some of the Jacket guys. My Morning Jacket.
Yeah, now a few of them live in Nashville.
Yeah,
but they're based out of Louisville, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that's correct. Yeah. I love that.
Kings. I know Nathan, but I don't think he'd know me. Kind of thing.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we'll get there
Yeah,
someday.
yeah,
you know?
Too High continues to blow up.
Yeah, we're working on it. But yeah, there's so many. I mean, and the bigger you get, the harder it is to remember people sometimes. So
I get it.
You end up having a lot more friends, I think.
You're in town tonight as we record this, performing at Fine Line in downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Great venue. We do a lot of go shows there. Clearly you've spent some time in Minneapolis, St. Paul over the years. Any experiences or memories you can speak of as...
Open it up for Modesty. This was maybe 4 years ago, we opened up for Modest Yahoo, and we played with the Dirty Heads at the First Avenue, which was
That must have been cool.
excellent. Yeah, I mean, historic venue. And then where else have we played? We played in St. Paul once, but it was a metal club.
Yep.
So not
Where would that have been? A metal club? I mean, Turf Club isn't a metal club per se. I don't think it would be there. Zeke, any idea? Metal club in St. Paul?
No.
We
Alright.
did not fit in.
We did play at the old Jam Festival. It was 10,000 Lakes. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I'm aware, yeah.
Up in
That was
northern
great.
Minnesota.
That's cool.
It was like the first major festival that we got booked at, and we were so pumped. 19-hour drive, straight shot from Nashville, and we played to maybe 25 people for a under a 3-figure amount of money,
Sure.
and crushed it. And then
course.
And it was
didn't come
amazing.
back to Minnesota for a few years because we were just trying to get our feet wet around the country.
Well, the time seems right.
Yeah,
It's good to have you guys here.
we really appreciate it.
I think like a block or two away from Fine Line, there's this giant Bob Dylan mural. Have you had a chance to check that out yet? I know you guys are fans,
No,
right?
I did a little walk around. Which way? In which direction?
It's right next to Target Center. So you're on Fine Line is on First Avenue. If you walk down maybe 2 blocks, there's a giant Bob Dylan mural on First Avenue and 5th Street.
Okay.
About 2 blocks this way.
I'll
Just
go
keep
check it
walking
out.
down the street, check it out. Because I read that you guys are big Bob Dylan fans, right?
Huge Dylan fans. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got to honor him the past 2 years at this thing they do at the Ryman called Dylan Fest, where you just get up and play one song. 2 years ago, we played All Along the Watchtower, which we do our own rendition of that. Well, it's sort of like the Jimi Hendrix version, but our own version of his version. So it's like, you still have the original light source there, but you've just put 2
Right.
unique filters on it.
Right.
And then last year we did Masters of War, which was
Great
a
song.
lesser known tune, but we did our own version of that, which is a lot of fun. But
What
yeah,
I've always found about, interesting about Bob Dylan is, and, Dylan was before my time, your time as well. But I kind of came to become a Dylan fan through interpretations.
covers. Yeah.
Through covers. And I don't know if it's blasphemy to say this, but I think I almost prefer Dylan covers more than the original, which I think in some ways shows how great of a songwriter he
Sure.
was.
Yeah, because his work transcends his own artistry.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that too.
Deep. We're getting deep.
Masters of War.
No, well, we don't really do Masters of War in our set. It's a little heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was real dark for that, but I mean, it was at the Ryman. It crushed.
I mean, look,
Yeah, it was
he's
great.
a Minnesota native. So, I mean,
That's right.
Watchtower tonight at Fine Line. I'm not telling you what to do.
We
you
should
guys
do
are.
it. No,
just
I like that.
observation,
I think
something to do.
yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Moon Taxi in studio. The song is Too High. I really appreciate what you guys do, making music. You make my job a lot easier by giving me songs to play on the radio. So I appreciate that, and looking forward to the song that you play tonight and other songs you'll play tonight at Fine Line.
We appreciate it. Thank you for playing our songs.
Thank you for making them. Moon Taxi. Go 96.3.